Mr. Brewster, we are live. That's not fancy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. So I don't even see it up
You
there.
guys got yours already connected up?
No, I haven't even been up there yet.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I did.
We'll go ahead and get this started then. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of What's Happening Now with CNI Solutions. I'm your host, Charles Fry.
And I'm Brewster Fomby.
All right. So please take time to remember to like, share, and comment on this Facebook Live.
Absolutely.
And if you're not following CNI Solutions out of Huntsville Facebook, please follow us for all the up-to-date information that we will have and things that we got going on in the community that we will be posting on our websites and our lives. So, often, Brewster, I've gotten this a few times now. I've been asked several times, are you guys a 501c3 nonprofit? Well, everybody, I would like to let you all know that, yes, indeed, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So, for those who have been asking that for the purpose of wanting to be a sponsor or a donor, please go ahead and do that. Our producer will put that information in the chat for you. Also, for those who are wanting to volunteers, we had a few volunteers already sign up who want to participate in some of our community-based organization events that we're going to be doing. So if you want to sign up to be a volunteer with CNI Solutions, that information will be in the chat, and our producer will make sure that information's in there so that you can get that. And if nothing else fails, you can always just give us a call here at CNI Solutions at 256-459-6020.
What's the number again, Charles?
256-459-6020.
All right.
All right.
Gotcha.
So coming up, we're getting closer. We mentioned it several times. We're going to continue to mention this into the date. We have our partnership with Oakwood University here in Huntsville that we'll be facilitating one of their entrepreneurial classes with their professor there. That's going to be starting on the 25th of this month.
Right.
Also, we have our Will Technology Scholarship Assistant class that will be starting on the 31st of that month. This class will both be in-house and virtual. For those who are not in the immediate area of the Huntsville area, you still can be a part of this class and sign up for it virtually. I've had people signing up as far away as down in Coleman, Alabama. We've had a few people asking about that. So fret not that you really do not have to be right here. We do offer both live virtual classes and our in-house traditional classes. Another thing that I wanted to make sure everybody understands, there's been a little bit of confusion on the, I guess, the flyer that was going out. For producer, if you can go ahead and put up the entrepreneur class flyer in the background. So, ladies and gentlemen, World Technology has been so gracious to help us and support us with our endeavors. What we do is, so the normal class is a $600 class, but with World Technology helping us and supporting us, we were able to reduce that cost for you guys just to $225, and that's just basically you're paying for your materials and costs for that. Everything else, World Technology is paying for that. They are handling that on their behalf, so we are grateful that they are doing that. So for those who have been wondering about that and the price difference, there you have it. The class is only going to cost you $225 out of pocket, whereas World Technology is covering that other half. So please, if you've been thinking about signing up and you've been wanting to sign up, please do it now, because we have been getting a lot of calls and a lot of emails, and those seats have been filling up fast. I have to get with our admin to find out how many we actually do have left. But go ahead and take care of that now so that we can go ahead and get you in so you are ready to get started on the 31st of this month.
Yes, sir.
As you all remember, we mentioned a few weeks ago, Miss Daniel Thompson had the house fire. First of all, I want to say thanks to everyone who has supported her. We've had many donations come in as far as food. We had clothing come in. We've had people donating shoes for the children who were going to school there. Even the school district has even been reaching out and helping them out as well. So I'll put out the information in the chat. I know her neighbor still has a GoFundMe for her going right now. That information will be in the chat as well for you all to be able to get that information for anyone who's still trying to reach out and give some support to her and her family for that matter. And we do appreciate that. If you just continue want to bring that support through CNI Solutions, by all means, go ahead and continue to do that. we will still make sure that she's able to get all that information as needed when it comes through us. COVID. Brewster, let's talk a little bit about COVID. So I know that you have gotten vaccinated and you had your shots 1 and 2, and I know I've gotten vaccinated and even had a booster. But we also know we are not invincible to COVID, and that does not make us invincible. That will help us from being hurt as bad from it, or maybe not even prevent us from getting it. But if we do get it, it should not be as bad as someone who's not been vaccinated. Right. So we say all that to say, because we have been noticing there's been an fluctuation how they're changing in the schools patterns now. Kids are being told they have to go back to wearing full masks. I saw some establishments where they're not allowing people back in again. So just be mindful of that, team, while you're out there and doing the things that you're doing. Stay vigilant with yourself, with your hands, the people you're hanging around, and the activities that you're doing. We want everyone to be safe and just to be healthy, not just for yourself, but for your neighbors as well.
Absolutely. Agreed.
So one of the things, topics we want to talk about tonight is something we want to bring up tonight as we start talking about entrepreneurship and the various different businesses that you can get started in. Let's talk a little bit about your individual county and cities, governments, I should say, meetings. You always have your city council meetings, and you always have the county commissioners meetings as well. Folks, if you don't have the ability, or if you have the time and the ability to attend some of these meetings, I highly suggest that you do that. Yes. There is some information that is being put out at these meetings that affects you directly, and you don't even know it. Don't depend on others to tell you what's going on. If you can, find out for yourself. I know some counties will go ahead and live stream it, and some cities will live stream those meetings. So just log on to your government meeting for your town or your city, whatever that may be, and check their website to see if they have a live streaming possibilities, or find out when those meetings are. Because I know for a few times that I've been to some of our commissioners meetings and our town hall, city council meetings, there's been things that's been said and it's been put forth for the vote on that I'm sure a lot of citizens are not aware of it. And it affects you, and it may affect you directly, and it could affect you indirectly, rather it be roads being built or roads being widened. Everyone's always heard about eminent domain like this. And if you're not attending those meetings to know about if they're going to widen a road on your property, they're going to take some of that property away from you. So it's vital that you're paying attention to what's going on in your government, and especially if you own a business, right? Because it affects a lot of the businesses as well, Brewster.
Yeah. One of the things we went was the county.
Yes.
We went to a county commissioners meeting today, and one of the things I found very interesting was the rezoning.
Yes.
They brought it to motion and they made a decision on. They had like 3, I think it was.
Yes.
3 proposed rezoning maps, and I think A was chosen. We don't have those particular rezoning lines available to show you, but I thought it was very, very interesting, and it was based off of the census, so to speak, the census, right? So whatever zone you thought you may have been, take a look at it and see if you're still in that zone, and if your county representative is still the same.
Right. And we are speaking for the Madison County here in Alabama. We don't know what county you may be in, because we have viewers from all over the world, and so, but this is just good information for you to know, to check in on that stuff, how it's going to affect you, and as we speak about that, how it's going to affect some of the entrepreneurs and the businesses. Well, it depends a lot on how they zone those particular areas. If it's going to be commercial property, or if it's going to be residential property. We have a lot of people who are trying to start businesses where they're going to have to build. And if that particular area, what you're looking at, you want to build, you need to make sure that it's zoned for that. You need to make sure that it's zoned for that. So that is very, very important when it comes to business and where you're planning on starting your business.
Right. Absolutely, Charles. Absolutely.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about, go ahead and put that up, the business canvas. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but I know Brewster, he loves to talk about our business canvas as you see it here. And it has many different things there up there as you're looking. When we talk about problems and alternatives, you talk about solutions, and you're talking about the benefits and advantages. One of the great things that I particularly like about this business canvas, Brewster, is I can use this on a day-to-day basis,
Right.
not just for my business. If there's something that I want to do, I find myself pulling this canvas up and I look at it and I say, okay, this is what I want to do. You know, what is my alternative to this? How is this going to solve my problem? I use it for that. So I've learned to transform this business canvas into more than just for my personal, my business, but I use it in my personal life as well.
Right, right. Absolutely. You can do that. And for several other tools that are out there that you can use and still do the same thing. But this business model canvas is what we use for our courses that we teach. And I'm very, very comfortable with it. I believe in it. I always say it's a very lean process. You probably go back and look at the other videos and you'll hear me say that. And I say it's lean because it's direct. It's just
right.
You go from customer problems and alternatives, and by the time we hit all of these sections, the things that you thought you should have, the facts that you've taken them and placed them on this canvas to support what your thoughts were,
right.
and bring them, make them turn into facts. So yes, I did this research. Yes, these are the problems. I've talked to the potential customers and things of that nature. So yeah, absolutely. So what I'm holding in my hand, this is kind of, these are all of the sessions that we covered. I know you can't see them. And these sessions are surrounded, they support the canvas that you see behind us. Right. So as we're covering everything from knowing yourself to knowing your customers and finding the right solution, different building blocks, and there are subheadings under these as well. So as we're covering those, Charles, and we're completing these different areas on this canvas, from the message down to the advantages and things of that nature, you're going to take that information and transcribe it into, the almighty business plan. Because a lot of the business plan, these particular areas on the canvas, they are associated with the business plan. So for those of you who do not have a business plan, once we get to that particular week, I think that's like week 8, like session 8, you'll be taking that information and finding that, that's why it's important every day that we have class to ensure that you're writing information down. Whatever the ideas that you come up, everything that you've proven to be fact, put that information on the canvas. So everything that you take and put into the business plan, and once you get that business plan scaled down to the T, make sure that everything is in order. Everything is fact. Because if you have to go, if you're not bootstrapping, you're going to a financial institution in order to get financial support.
Right.
That business plan, they are the facts as you have done the research.
I think you hit a good point there, Brewster. A lot of our small entrepreneurs and small business owners, they don't realize the importance of that business plan, because if they do decide that you want to go to some financial institution to get some financial backing, some capital for that business, they're going to ask you for that business plan, and you're going to need to learn, you're going to need to have that. And so if you don't have that, one of the things we're going to show you and we're going to put you through is we're going to help you build that business plan when you get to that session. So that is very, very important, amongst a lot of other things that you may need when they ask for profit and loss statements and stuff like that nature. You're going to have all that stuff. And when you come through the course and you're going through it and you're writing all this stuff down, you're going to realize, like, man, I guess there was a lot more to business than what I thought it was, and than just selling some shoes or selling hats or whatever the case may be. Like,
yeah, it's these are the important things that are associated with your business, whether it's considered a small business, whatever the case. These are the things that keep your business running. So, your finances, knowing your losses, knowing your gains, knowing whether you're in the black, whether you're in the red, and instead of just kind of shooting from the hip. And, only thing is I have some money to spend this week. So, but that's not the case. You need to treat your business money like business money,
Right.
And your personal funds, it's like your personal funds.
And again, I think we mentioned this a few weeks ago. Not sure what guest might have had on, but that is important. You know, I know that we're starting out, and I know that, you know, you want this business, you want to get it going, but a key element is you need to separate those personal finances from those business finances. That is very important, to try to not use your personal account. It's also your business account, you know, like this, because as long as you can keep that separate, it'll help when it comes to that auditing process and for when it's time for you to calculate all that profit and loss, because then, you know, when you mix it together, you don't know how much of your money you put in, you don't know how much of your money you've been taking out like this. So that is very, very important, you know, and we understand it. Trust me, I tell you, when I know I understand it, when you're starting out, it's hard to do that, but it's important that you do that. Very important.
Right. If you can get started, and that's one of the things that we facilitate, you know, we impress upon you to get off on the right foot. We'll give you the tools, we give you the manual tools, and we give you some ideas as far as the automated tools that you can use to keep up with your accounting process. Right. Because accounting seems as though it's a very cumbersome process, but even with the tools that we use, it's really simple in its nature in order to run a small business. Fill in the blank. We give you some spreadsheets, you know, if you have to use that. Once again, if you cannot right now afford to go out and get the programming that you need in order to run a small business, if you can't, then, you know, using it the old manual way is just as it's just as effective. So I'll get to show you those ways that you can use these spreadsheets and plug in the numbers, and it'll calculate and it'll roll it over into the next month and things of that nature. So those are some of the things we cover as well, Charles. So.
Right. So, Brewster, I know you got the card, and you said there's different sessions in there that we will cover, and the entrepreneur themselves will go over and help understanding those many different sessions. When does that entrepreneur feel like, or when should they feel like they are ready to start their business?
If Charles, if you out there, when you do come to this course, if you put yourself into the course, if you put everything into the course, it's just like any class you may take in something, I call it secondary school, college, or anything of that nature. You're going to get out of what you put into it. If you want an A, you're going to put forth the effort as if you want an A. So as you go through each exercise that we have, and if you put the effort in talking to your potential customers, right, by the time you get to the end of the course, we'll be asking you about your 30, 60, 90. And within that 90 days after the course, you should be up and running, because you're going to let us know cost. What's the cost? Because you're going to get out there, whether you're going to be doing it by doing your research by the internet. What is it going to cost me to get started? You're going to talk to business owners who may be in the same business that you're planning to open. And if you cannot find one that's in the same business, you know, and they don't have to be in this great state of Alabama as well. Roll Tide, by the way. They don't have to be in the great state of Alabama. They can be anyone across the nation. Contact them. Ask them, what did it take for you to get started? What is it that I need for this? And so we give you those tools. We give everyone those tools. And like I said, by the end of this course, putting together that, you have your short-term and long, those goals, things that you need to ensure that it'll get done. Those things that are pressing, make sure that your licensing and everything is in place to ensure that you're doing everything that's legally, your accounts are open.
Exactly. There's I think the key element in their team and understanding what Mr. Fomby is saying is we all can use a mentor. I remember a time, when I was a young leader working in the contract world and out in the desert, and my program manager, kind of gave me some guidance on, hey, Charles, you're not too big to be able to be mentor and be showed something. And he was right. He was right. And I learned from that. And by him being able to do that, that made me a better person. That made me be able to do what I'm doing now, like this. So when we talk to you all and we're telling you, like, hey, find a mentor, that is important. Don't think that you know everything. because we all do not know everything. That mentor might be able to give you some advice, some guidance that's going to help you in that particular business what you're doing, especially if it's a mentor that's doing the same type of business that you are doing like this. So that is key. That is key. Some of the biggest corporations around still have mentors. If they're not using mentors, they're using business coaches.
Yes.
You know, they're using
Yes.
business coaches, because when you're close to the product, it's hard for you to see the flaw. It's
Yes.
hard for you to see the flaw.
And that's, yeah, and Charles, and that's one of the good things about this particular course that we facilitate, is that you have other potential business owners within this class, and we all work together. And that's why I use the word facilitate. The course is not designed for me to teach; it's designed for me to facilitate.
Right.
You know, you'll be communicating amongst each other, and you'll help each other along the way. You know, the things that you do have specific questions to, that, you know, you can't get the answers within then you can we can discuss those things, and we can come, you know, and get the answers to them. We can give the answer to them. But along the way, we facilitate the course itself. So that's really, it's a very, very good way of doing the course of learning business, especially if you've never been in business before. You know, one aspect, Charles, one of our starters, we call the people who come into the class, we call them starters. One of the starters that's come into the course, they've been reaching out to me, letting me know what type of work they've been doing, i.e. getting out and talking to businesses about the business that they are desiring to open. They're just that excited, that excited about starting their own business, that they're already getting out there. And they've talked to several businesses already, trying to get the right information, you know, to take that idea, you know, that hypothesis, and say, okay, I'm pulling all of the facts together, all the information that I get. But I will say, and I know he's probably watching tonight, make sure that that information is getting written down.
Yes,
you know,
very important.
Yeah, so we can take that information and get it cycled into the canvas, and the things that we know that do work and will work for you, just in case, you know, and then also later on, just in case you may have to make some tweaks to that business plan. Right. Because they say it's fluid. It's something that's going to be where there's growth, there's going to be change, you know. So everyone wants their business to grow.
Exactly. I think if you all remember when we had the session with Mr. Scott, Marcel Scott, you know, he spoke about that. And he spoke about being able to make those changes and to be flexible like this, if you're wanting your business to grow. So that is important to all you out there who are wanting to become an entrepreneur and start a business. Understand that, you know, you need to be flexible with it, what's going on, because something may not go the way you want it to go at that particular time. So be flexible and stay persistent. You have to stay persistent. Our executive director for CNI Solutions, they put forth a vision board, and on that vision board, they have these, you know, astronomical goals for us as a organization. And by golly, you know, when those things are put before you, you're like, oh my goodness, how are we going to do all this? But believe it or not, it makes you grind. It makes you stick to it, and it makes you want to do it like this. So set some goals for yourself. Set some goals for yourself as you come into this course. Like this, you know, what is one of the goals you plan on obtaining in that first month in the course? You know, what's going to happen in that second month of the course? You know, those are important things for you to be able to do. You know, what day do you plan on launching that business? You know, when do you want that business up and running? Like this, because if you don't put that stuff together, then you find yourself not trying to achieve it. Like this, it's not going to fall in your lap. It's not just going to happen. You wake up the next morning, oh, I think today be the day. No, it ain't going to work that way. So it's very important that you put all that information together, because let's just face it, it's a business. It's a business. No matter how small it is, it's still a business. And every job that you've had, every job that you've worked at, trust me when I tell you that CEO or whoever that was at the top, they plan for everything. Everything gets planned. I know. I remember once I used to quote unquote moonlight for the Dollar General back in the day. And during that moonlight, there was a lot of things that we would get from corporate months ahead of time, hey, in October, put this out. Hey, in January, put this out. And this will be only in April. Like this. So they plan that far out for their stores of how they want to make changes and how they're going to do that. So just keep that in mind for your business. You know, plan for that start date, plan for your soft opening, plan for your ribbon cutting set, make plans for all of that, because it's going to be important. Like this, and the more organized you are
Right.
with that, the better you are going to be. I think when I talk about learning and mentoring, I think Mr. Fabi has taught me one vital thing is, you know, learning how to take those organized notes. You know, I praise him all the time for his note taking, but I've learned that from him, and I've been able to grow from that, and it's made me even better. So just keep that in mind.
Oh, notes, but right, you're visualizing. And I think it's super, super important. That's one of the things about the canvas. We have a large canvas that we use, that I use within when I'm facilitating, that I put it on the actual board in front of it throughout as far as anyone that's giving up ideas, we put it on the board so we can visualize, so we can see it, right? If it's in your head and it stays in your head, then that's all it is. It's just in your head. So put it on paper, look at it, make changes, and that's what we're going to do with this canvas behind us as well.
Exactly. You know, there is I think the classroom currently we're hold capacity of about maybe 20 students we can hold right now, but we're not taking our classes up that big anymore. We're just trying to limit them to just 10 because it's more controllable. We're able to get more out of it. We're able to do a little bit more one-on-one with you to help you with your particular situation. When you schedule those one-on-one appointments with us like this, we're able to control it more at that small area. So that's why it was so very important for those who have been teetering the fence, thinking, yeah, I want to do it, I don't want to do it, I do want to do it. You know, you need to go ahead and do it now while the seats are still available, because once they're full, then we're not going to start our next class until after we finish this one, because we will be running 2 classes at this time, our in-house and our Oakwood University. So we're not going to overstretch ourselves, and we don't want to slight anybody out there who's going to be participating in the class of anything, because we decided to go ahead and push forward with a 3rd class. We don't want to do that. You know, our goal is to better to have a quality over quantity.
That's right.
That is our goal, because you are part of our ecosystem, and as part of that ecosystem, we need you to survive. We want you to survive. We want your business to be just as successful as any other business that's in your city, town, neighborhood, wherever you may be at taking this course. We want you to be just as successful as they are. All right. So always keep that in mind.
Absolutely. I totally 100% agree with that. So we stopped in on Saturday. You know, we do things on the weekend as well. And we stopped into a local business. And one of the things I was telling that business owner that I appreciated, one thing was that customer service, Charles. You know, I don't know if we want to talk about what's the name of that business was, but yeah. So we stopped in it, you know, and the main idea was to find a way that we can work together as CNI Solution, you know, a 501c3, and as that local business. We like-minded, their desires to build the same type of ecosystem, you know, giving help to fostering greater and better tomorrows. So when you have that, why stand out by yourself and try to row the boat by yourself? Let's all get in that boat and let's row together. Let's do it in unison.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for those, you know, I know Charles was talking about the class. For those out there who are thinking, man, I should go ahead and join that class. Just think about it. You get to see me every day. You know, every day, as our producer has their head down, smiling. But that's true. You get to see me every day. What better? You know. Well, maybe not every day. It'll be 3 hours per week, 1.5 hours per session.
Right. Right. All right. Well, that looks like we're about to wrap up our time on that. Bruce, do you have any last words that you want to put forth?
Well, yeah, actually, I do. One of my favorite sayings, right, as I'm trying to look past the producer behind the camera, right, is that, because they're smiling, is that you're me and I'm you. and Charles and he mentioned that, reminded me of, that's something that I say, and I haven't coined that phrase, but I'm coining that phrase, you are me and I am you, because we're no different. We're all on this journey. You know, I use the analogy when we had an interview with, I think, Channel 54, the local news station here in Huntsville. I said, hey, we're all on this train, okay? And that train is not stopping.
Right.
So you can either make a choice to get on the train and move forward, and all of those hopes and dreams and desires, right? One step at a time. Create that plan. Part of that plan is this entrepreneurship class at CNI Solutions has starting on the 31st. Let that be your first step in your plan. Open that business, create your next step in your plan, and continue to move forward.
Right. And with that being said, team, just remember that CNI Solutions is also a community-based organization. So there's a lot of things that we do in the community. And don't know where that came from, but there is a lot of things that we do in the community. I apologize for that. I don't know who left that on. If you would like to come onto the platform and speak on what's happening now with CNI Solution, please just send us an email and we'll be more than happy to have you come on in here. I know we got some things lined up as the coming weeks, but you know, of course, different situations that come about, some cancellations come about. However, you know, we'll reschedule as accordingly. But you know, if there is something that you would like to speak about in your part of the community, like just give us a call and let's see if we can get you signed up and lined up for the platform. All right. Okay. So until next time, team, ladies and gentlemen, just remember your yesterday is not your today, and your today is not your tomorrow. Have a good night.